Scrappers, it's Vanessa here with my next process video, and I'm just going through and just showing you what I've pulled for this layout. I am still working through bits and pieces of my Secret Not Secret kit, along with some items from my stash. So it's a combination of both, and if you want to see what pieces came from that kit, you can go ahead and look back at my video that I had up on my channel showing what was in that kit. For this one, I really just used a couple of pieces, just a doily and some pieces of ephemera, as well as some of the washi booklet, and I believe that is pretty much it. Oh, and the little resin flowers also came from the kit. So basically all I'm doing here to begin is I've cut down my white piece of paper with the polka dots. I believe that was Heidi Swap paper pad. I've cut that down, and I've gone ahead and cut down that yellow piece of paper that you saw as well, which was an old Fancy Pants piece of paper, I believe, called Summer Days. And I placed that over to the left. So you saw me cut that down, and then you saw me mount my photo on another piece of that Fancy Pants yellow piece of paper, as well as the green 6x6 paper was from the kit, and it was, I believe, a My Mind's Eye paper, and it had pink and white polka dots on the other sides, but I'm using the green today. And so I'm kind of just doing what I usually do, and I'm laying everything out. I haven't glued anything down at this point. I'm kind of just getting a feel for where I think I want everything to go on this layout. And I do this a lot. I typically get an idea of how I want a layout to go, and I will lay everything down before I actually commit to gluing it, which does mean everything, like you just saw, moves around, and I have to keep changing it and picking it up, moving it over. So I probably should learn to stick it down sooner than I do, but so far this is how it goes. I did pull some items from that Maggie Holmes flea market sticker sheet. I have been trying to use that up for quite a while, and so I was able to I pulled two borders and some labels and a tab from that. And then I also pulled a piece of the washi from that Turn the Page washi book that came in my kit, and I'm going to proceed to cut that out, and then it is going to become another border over to my left side of the page. I really like how that added just a little extra something to that left side, and brought in some gold stripe to that side, and just some interest along with the label and the little bird and the wood veneer heart and the little resin flower that's going to go up there. So that's pretty much how that cluster on the left hand side is going to look. And then I debate for a few minutes on if I'm going to put a tag in behind my photo to put my journaling on. I end up opting not to do that, and I don't do it on camera, but I did after I was complete. I did go ahead and journal on the back of this layout. Not a huge story. This picture is really just a picture of my daughter and my husband one day when we were out at a restaurant. I'm the person who takes all the pictures, and so, they were super excited that I was taking another picture of them while they were eating their lunch that day. So, there's no real story. It's just another photo, which is literally what my title says. It says, seriously, another photo, because basically that's exactly what they said when I went to take this photo. They were like, really? You have to take another photo? I actually think my daughter might have actually said that to me, because that's what you get when you're the one who takes all the pictures, right? So here's me playing with that strip of border stickers down at the bottom, and this is like the story of an indecisive scrapper. I put it in one spot, like you saw, underneath the photo, and then I move it over so it's more underneath the cluster. And then I say, okay, I don't really like that. Let me pull a piece of washi from my washi book again, and okay, I'm going to cut this out, and because I'm thinking I need something longer. These strips just aren't long enough, so let me try this, and I'm going to put this down, and I'm liking this. I'm liking the idea of this. You'll see in the end that while I do go with this idea, I actually don't go with that piece of washi tape. So, like I said, super indecisive scrapbooker on this one. I like played with this forever. This is like sped up so that you don't see how much time I actually spent going back and forth with this. See, do I want it below? Do I want it above? Again, craziness. But in the final layout and in the pictures at the end, you'll see what I mean, where I do have that extra piece of border that's a piece of the washi tape from that book, but it is not that piece. It's actually more of that greeny yellow color that looks like the border on the left side of the page. I actually have a washi tape piece from that book that's sort of got that same coloring that you'll end up seeing in the final. That ends up going right where that one is right now at the bottom. So yeah, long-winded explanation to say very indecisive, very indecisive. But moving on, I'm now going up to my top cluster, and this is how I think at this point that this cluster is going to go. Again, indecisive, totally. This layout drove me crazy. I played with it, and the whole reason why this top cluster doesn't stay exactly as it is because of my title. So you're seeing me, and I'm sticking it all down. See how I'm sticking another down, and I'm going to stick seriously down, and another, and seriously, it stays where it is. But photo. Yeah, I couldn't decide. Do I want it on the photo? Do I want it over right underneath the A? Do I want it over, underneath the TH? Where do I want to put it? See, playing with it. Can't figure out where I want it. Ultimately, I decide right there. So guess what? The tab, it's going to move. The flower and the other piece of ephemera and the little resin flower and the heart, that all stays. See, can't decide. I'm going to play with that tab. So then I go, okay, I don't know where I want this yet, but I know what this cluster down here looks like. I hope. Right? So I go down here, and now you're going to see I'm going to sort of place everything where I want it to go in this bottom cluster. And it pretty much does go back exactly pretty much the way that my original layout had it laid the first time that I put everything down. And you'll see that the tab that was at the top has now come down, and it's on top of the wonderful ephemera piece, which I like that. I like how it kind of balances off that or finishes up that cluster and kind of pulls it all together. So you'll see that I have my triangle going. Each one of my clusters has, the resin flower, a wooden heart, has pieces of ephemera, and they all have something that keeps them similar all the way through. I try to do that as much as possible. Usually one of my clusters will be a little bit larger, one will be sort of mid-size, and one will be smaller. I also usually try to have my embellishment clusters, one of them anyway, or my title. I usually try to have an embellishment cluster touching or near my title, or my title near my photo. I just find that keeps my title from looking like it's floating across the page. So that's pretty much, this is one of my go-to designs where I do like the 3 clusters. I think for a lot of people it is. The rules of 3 sort of, there's just something about that visual triangle that just makes your eye go right to the photo. So basically I'm just going to finish up that top left, and then I'm going to pull out my enamel dots, which again, I play around. This is sped up, so you don't see how many times I picked up and moved around the enamel dots to try to figure out where they were going to go. But yeah, way indecisive with the enamel dots. But eventually they make it down, and there's a cluster of 3 in each of my embellishment clusters. I have 3 enamel dots, so again, carrying the 3 around. Apart from that, that's pretty much how this layout goes. I do stamp my date, but I don't show it. Now here are some still shots of the layout, and if you have any comments, just leave them below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you would like to see more, and I will talk to you all again next time. Bye bye!